A lost film is a feature or short film in which the original negative or copies are not known to exist in any studio archive, private collection, or public archive. Now that we all know what a lost film is, let's take a look at the lost films iceberg made by you/Semidus. London After Midnight, a 1927 silent horror classic, directed by Todd Browning and starring Lon Chaney, remains one of the most sought-after lost films. Known for its eerie atmosphere and Chaney's iconic makeup, the film mysteriously vanished after the last known copy was destroyed in an MGM vault fire in 1965. Despite this loss, London After Midnight has achieved legendary status in the realm of lost media. Enthusiasts have pieced together its legacy through surviving stills and scripts, even inspiring a 2002 reconstruction using over 200 photos. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood, a 91-minute film released in 2007, has become a legendary piece of lost media. Based on Hirohiko Araki's iconic manga, this film celebrated the 25th anniversary of Araki's career. Despite its initial hype, including a teaser at the 2004 Tokyo International Anime Fair and promotion alongside a PS2 game, the movie vanished after its brief theatrical run. Reasons for its disappearance remain speculative, with poor reception and licensing issues often cited. Today, only fragments like trailers and a 16-minute workprint provide glimpses of this elusive adaptation. Georges Méliès, the first magician of cinema, revolutionized film with his surreal, dreamlike special effects. Initially a stage magician, he built a film studio and crafted over 520 films, of which only 231 survive today. Sadly, by World War I, Méliès' enchanting visions fell out of favor, leading to his bankruptcy and the heartbreaking destruction of most of his negatives. However, some lost gems still resurface, like the colorized A Trip to the Moon, found in an abandoned barn. One tantalizing mystery remains a flipbook possibly containing his film, Arrivée d'un train guerre de Vincennes, sparking ongoing investigations and hope for rediscovery. Cry Baby Lane is a 2000 Halloween-themed TV film that vanished into lost media lore after its premiere on Nickelodeon. This comedy horror, featuring brothers unwittingly releasing an evil twin's spirit during a seance, was shelved due to parental complaints about its scariness. Nickelodeon allegedly disowned the film, denying its existence for years. This spurred fans to hunt for evidence, with some employees spreading false information to fuel the mystery. In 2011, a Reddit user released a bootleg copy online, leading to its re-airing and the revelation that Nickelodeon had the film all along. Today, Cry Baby Lane enjoys a cult following among horror enthusiasts. Food Fight is a legendary train wreck in animation history. This CGI disaster, produced by Threshold Animation Studios, is infamous not just for its low quality, but also for its chaotic production. Initially started in 2000, the project faced a bizarre setback when the entire movie was allegedly stolen in an act of industrial espionage. Despite this dramatic claim, the film was rebooted and finally completed by 2008, but wouldn't see a release until 2012. Adding to its mystique, a 7-minute showreel used in early pitches remains lost. The Day the Clown Cried, a 1971 film by Jerry Lewis and Nathan Watchesberger, remains a notorious piece of lost media. It follows Helmut Dork, a clown imprisoned in a Nazi camp, who leads children to the gas chamber, hoping for redemption. Despite its grim premise, Lewis invested heavily, facing budget issues and rights disputes. The film never saw release due to its controversial tone and legal battles. Clips and stills occasionally surface, and a copy resides in the Library of Congress, set for a 2026 release. The Golem, a 1915 German silent horror film by Paul Wegener and Henrik Alin, tells the tale of a clay monster in Prague protecting Jewish people from persecution. Brought to life as a servant, it falls for a woman and, when spurned, goes on a murderous rampage. The film was considered lost soon after release, but by 2007, some footage from the first and fourth acts resurfaced. Rumors persist about a complete print held by a European collector, as noted in Elizabeth Bear's The Golem Redux. Werner Herzog's 1964 black-and-white short film, Game in the Sand, remains a mystery in cinema's lost media lore. Known for its graphic nature involving children and a rooster in a cardboard box, the film was never released and is feared lost forever. Herzog, known for his provocative filmmaking style, has hinted at dark events during filming, suggesting the shoot went awry. Only a handful have reportedly seen it, and Herzog contemplates destroying the negative. With credits to Jamie Pacheco for music and Uwe Brandner for cinematography. Batman Fights Dracula, a 1967 Filipino parody directed by Leody M. Diaz, pits Batman against Dracula in a sought-after lost gem. Despite sparse details beyond its cast and crew, it's celebrated for its unique premise. Recently, Filipino blog Pelikula ATBP unearthed plot points and photos, sparking renewed interest. Notably distinct from the similarly titled James Batman, this film remains elusive, with no footage yet found. It stands among rare cinematic curiosities, alongside Andy Warhol's Batman Dracula and the animated The Batman vs. Dracula, marking a legacy of caped crusaders confronting the Prince of Darkness across different eras and interpretations. Quantum Quest, a Cassini Space Odyssey, a 2010 animated sci-fi adventure, integrates NASA Cassini mission footage with an all-star voice cast including Chris Pine, Samuel L. Jackson, and Neil Armstrong. Screened briefly in select IMAX theaters and the Kentucky Museum of Science, it vanished after 2011, with only trailers surviving. Despite rumored Netflix availability in 2015, it remains unreleased on home media. Recently, a podcast, Finding Quantum Quest, launched, probing its elusive status. Finally, on May 10, 2022, Giant Pictures released the film on VOD, marking a belated but celebrated unveiling for this long-lost educational gem. Gothic Maid, Hana no Yu Tame, directed by Mamoru Nagano, debuted in 2012 with cutting-edge 4K animation and Dolby Atmos sound, a first for anime. Despite its theatrical success in Japan, it has never seen a home video release. Nagano, adamant about preserving its theater experience, rejects any downgraded formats. Regular screenings through Toho's DreamPass system sustain its demand, while merchandise like OST CDs and art books remain available. The film's ties to Nagano's ongoing manga underscore its cultural impact, though fans worldwide await its elusive release beyond Japanese theaters, keeping Gothic Maid a sought-after piece of lost media. In the annals of lost cinema, Theda Bara's 1917 silent epic, Cleopatra, stands as a tantalizing enigma. Originally a lavish 2.5-hour spectacle, only 20 seconds survived until 2023. The recent discovery of a 41-second fragment by James Fennell, shared on YouTube, offers a rare glimpse into its opulence. Believed among the era's most elaborate productions, its fate was sealed by two destructive fires in 1937 and 1958, erasing all known copies. Efforts to reconstruct it, like Philip Dye's ambitious Indiegogo project, have unearthed over 400 stills, fostering hope for its resurrection. Wazii Kingu Kongu, a 1933 silent Japanese short, pioneers as one of Japan's earliest monster films. Directed by Torajiro Saito and distributed by Shochiku, it was reportedly made without RKO's consent. The King Kong that appeared in Edo, a 1938 Japanese monster film, predates Godzilla and features a plot of intrigue and kidnapping. Made without RKO's approval, it comprises 2 parts, showcasing early special effects in Japanese cinema. Both have been lost since World War II, only posters and promotional materials survived. Empress Chung, 2005, an animated gem from Korea, captivated audiences but vanished without a home release. Directed by Nelson Shin, it brought a beloved folk tale to life across borders. Despite awards and festival acclaim, It exists now only in fragments online, a trailer, screenshots, and elusive mentions of a North Korean release. Its disappearance adds to its mystique, leaving fans hoping for its return to screens worldwide. Penis, 1965, by A.J. Rose, once a mysterious piece of lost media rumored to be gay pornography, resurfaced in 2021 as an experimental art film. Like Un Chien in Alu by Dali and Buñuel, it challenges societal norms of the 1960s, echoing current LGBT rights struggles. Its protagonist's journey through gender and sexual identity resonates deeply, offering multiple interpretations, from exploring homosexuality to poignant trans narratives. In 1974, NYU students embarked on Spider-Man vs. Kraven the Hunter, a fan film capturing the essence of the web-slinger. Directed by Bruce Cardozo, it garnered unofficial praise from Stan Lee but faced distribution woes. Despite meticulous production and Marvel support, the film vanished post-filming. Occasional screenings at conventions were its sole exposure, cementing its status as a coveted lost gem in superhero cinema history, eluding even bootleggers. Bruce Cardozo's subsequent career in visual effects added intrigue to the mystery. The Oregon Trail, a 1936 Western starring John Wayne, vanished shortly after its release, making it one of his lost films. Wayne portrays Captain John Delmont, who embarks on a quest to avenge his father's death and finds love amidst the frontier. Despite rediscovery efforts by Republic Pictures' former president Bob Sigmund, including searches across Latin America and Europe, the film remains elusive. In 2013, a stroke of luck uncovered 40 production stills, offering a glimpse into its lost legacy. Gogala, a 1966 Bollywood monster film inspired by Gajira, remains a mysterious piece of lost cinema. Set in Mumbai, it depicts the rampage of a monstrous creature ignored by authorities until it devastates the city. With no surviving copies, only its soundtrack lingers. Produced by Indradhanush Films, known solely for this venture, the film's obscurity suggests it wasn't a box office hit. Directed by Balwant B. Dave and featuring a modest cast, including Azad Irani and Naeem Pali, Gogala vanished from public view. Maya, La Primera Gran Historia, a promising animated film by Animex Productions, faced a dramatic halt in 2005 due to creative disputes, marking a setback for the studio after showcasing advanced trailers and securing a distribution deal with Altavista Films. Directed by Ricardo Arnaiz and backed by Bruno Bichir and Emmanuel as producers, the film aimed to delve into Mayan culture. Despite attempts to revive it in 2020, nothing materialized, with only glimpses of its potential shown through trailers. The Faralogs and Radio Plays, an early adaptation of L. Frank Baum's Oz, starred Baum himself and pioneered film techniques like synchronized score and colorized slides. Despite critical acclaim, it closed due to high costs after runs in Michigan and New York in 1908. Revived briefly in 1925, it later decayed and may be lost forever, with only a few production stills surviving. Rumors persist of collector copies sold at its theater, but its legacy remains a poignant chapter in Baum's career. Meso Blues, Van Partible's original 1993 short film, explored an aging rock star who believes he's Elvis. Created for his senior thesis, it evolved into the basis for Cartoon Network's Johnny Bravo. Though never publicly released, brief clips surfaced on a DVD bonus and online, revealing its early influence on the iconic character's development. Partible retains the sole VHS and digital copies, sharing them sparingly to preserve its significance in his animation journey. The Great Gatsby, Herbert Brennan's 1926 silent adaptation of F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel, is now lost, leaving only a vintage trailer showcasing fleeting glimpses of the film. Starring Warner Baxter and Lois Wilson, the movie diverged from the novel's plot, depicting Gatsby's downfall amidst opulent Long Island parties. Despite efforts by film historians, no complete print has surfaced, although a preserved trailer offers a tantalizing glimpse into its jazz age allure. In 1941, Orson Welles' Citizen Kane captivated audiences with its enigmatic portrayal of a media magnate's rise and fall. Revered as a cinematic masterpiece, the film faced controversy decades later when Ted Turner considered colorizing it in the late 1980s. Despite initial plans, Welles' expressed wish for the film to remain untouched halted the effort after only the final reel was colorized. Today, remnants of this attempt can be glimpsed in clips from the 1991 BBC documentary, The Complete Citizen Kane. Monster Safari, a planned stop-motion film by Mark Caballero and Seamus Walsh, promised a whimsical adventure with cryptozoologists saving Earth's new monsters. Penned by Matt Chapman and Craig Zobel of Homestar Runner fame, the project expanded from a short to a feature film concept. Despite its 2009 announcement and a glimpse of the original short on Screen Novelty's site, updates dwindled. Co-writers Chapman and Zobel expressed uncertainty about its fate, highlighting the mystery surrounding its production, with only the short surfacing online in 2015. In 1914, two silent Sherlock Holmes films titled A Study in Scarlet were produced, one in the UK directed by George Pearson and the other in the US by Francis Ford, both based on Arthur Conan Doyle's novel. The UK version starred James Bridgerton as Holmes, with a plot centered on intrigue among Mormons in America. Filmed at Wharton's Hall and locations like Cheddar Gorge, only a few stills and a promotional photo survive. Meanwhile, the unauthorized U.S. adaptation, released the day after, featured Francis Ford as Holmes and his brother John Ford as Watson. Despite newspaper ads, both films are now lost to history. The Sunshine Princess, La Principessa del Sol, a 1999 Italian animated film by Zlata Patenko Covabelli, concludes a trilogy with its rare home video releases. Loosely based on Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, it focuses on Princess Alia resisting the wizard Kuma's advances to retain her youth, leading him to curse her into an ugly child. Ali Baba and Misery the donkey aid her transformation back and defeat Kumas. Despite indications of an English dub, home releases remain scarce. Trailers from established channels suggest potential full copies. Noah's Ark, a 1928 biblical epic, caused a stir with its daring flood scene, notorious for its danger and controversy. The film, a pioneering talkie, initially ran 135 minutes, but was heavily edited post-premiere due to criticism over sound quality and the harrowing flood sequence. This longer cut, featuring unsettling scenes of actors struggling in water, has vanished since its New York debut, leaving only the 100-minute version preserved. Notably, a young John Wayne narrowly escaped tragedy during filming, highlighting the film's impact on safety regulations in Hollywood stunt work. The Werewolf, a pioneering 1913 silent film by Universal Studios, marked cinema's earliest take on lycanthropy. Directed by Henry McRae and adapted from Henry Bogrand's The Werewolves, it's regarded as the inaugural entry in Universal's iconic Monsters series. The plot revolves around Watuma, an Indian girl who transforms into a wolf seeking vengeance for her slain lover. Despite its historical significance, all copies were lost in a mysterious fire at Universal Studios, leaving its groundbreaking portrayal of lycanthropy confined to historical accounts and the imagination. O Kaiser, a 1917 Brazilian animated short by Alvaro Marins, Seth, is hailed as Brazil's first true animation. Premiering on January 22, 1917, at Cinepath, the film's plot features Emperor Wilhelm II placing a helmet on a globe, symbolizing his control over the world, only to be swallowed by it. Despite its historical significance, O Kaiser is now considered lost, with only a single frame surviving. In 2013, Eduardo Calvet's documentary Luz, Anima, a KO brought the film back to life, thanks to 8 animators' recreations. Mothman, an unreleased horror film by Doug TenNapel, creator of Earthworm Jim, remains a tantalizing piece of lost media. The plot follows Ellis Gladson in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, who encounters the mysterious Mothman. Despite initial enthusiasm and a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con 1999, the project was plagued by budget cuts, production delays, and the tragic death of music editor Gene Andrusco. Only a few stills and a trailer survive. Recently, a 22-minute cut surfaced, but the full-length versions remain elusive. Batman Dracula, a 1964 silent, black-and-white film directed by pop art icon Andy Warhol, is a fascinating piece of lost media. Created as an unauthorized homage to the Batman series, the film stars Jack Smith as Batman/Dracula. Filmed on Long Island beaches, New York rooftops, and at Warhol's studio, The Factory, the hour-long movie was only screened at Warhol's art exhibits. Following Warhol's death, the film was considered lost. However, fragments resurfaced in the 2006 documentary, Jack Smith and the Destruction of Atlantis, and additional clips have been compiled, amounting to roughly 40% of the original film. Firelight, a 1964 science fiction film, was Steven Spielberg's third directorial effort, made when he was just 17. Created on a $500 budget, the 135-minute film inspired his 1977 hit, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was screened only once, on March 24, 1964, at the Phoenix Little Theater, earning exactly $1 profit. The story follows scientists in Freeport, Arizona, witnessing strange lights and disappearances, culminating in aliens planning to abduct the entire town for a human zoo on their planet. Spielberg's master reels were lost after a producer's company went bankrupt. Only some surviving footage is available online. Girl Crazy, a 1994 romantic comedy, marked Richard Dutcher's directorial debut. Sold to HBO's Cinemax in 1997, it was never released internationally or on home media. The plot follows Tommy McIntosh, Dutcher, a man with an aversion to men and a penchant for women, who must win back his love, Rachel Lindeborn, after cheating on her. The film premiered at the 1994 independent feature film market but found no theatrical release. Dutcher plans to release it on DVD as a guide to indie filmmaking, though this has yet to materialize. Wake in Fright, a 1971 thriller by Ted Kotcheff, depicts a man's harrowing experience in an Australian outback town. Despite critical praise, it flopped commercially due to limited marketing and controversial content, particularly a disturbing kangaroo hunting scene. The film's poor reception and distribution led to nearly all complete prints vanishing. In 2002, editor Anthony Buckley discovered the original negatives in a Pittsburgh warehouse, just before they were to be destroyed. After a lengthy restoration, Wake in Fright was re-released in 2009 to critical acclaim, now celebrated as a landmark of Australian cinema. Star Wars, later titled Star Wars, Episode IV: A New Hope, is famous for its groundbreaking editing, but an early workprint known as The Lost Cut offers a different view. Edited by John Jimson, this version, completed in early 1977, had 30 to 40% different scenes and lacked music, sound effects, and special effects. After viewing it, George Lucas disliked its documentary-like style and fired Jimson, re-editing the film with his own team. Stored in the LucasArts archive, this version has only been seen by a few, including Dr. David West Reynolds, and is unlikely to ever be publicly released. After D.W. Griffith's controversial 1915 film, The Birth of a Nation, Thomas Dixon Jr., author of The Klansman, released a 1916 sequel titled The Fall of a Nation. This film, considered the first movie sequel, is now lost. It portrayed a hypothetical future where the U.S.'s pacifism leads to a German invasion. The film follows Virginia Holland, a suffragette who forms a rebel army to overthrow the invaders and restore American rule. Despite being the first feature film with an original symphonic score, The Fall of a Nation was neither a critical nor commercial success, and no copies are known to exist. The Ghostbreaker, 1914, a lost horror drama starring H. Bede Warner, premiered on December 7, 1914, by Paramount Pictures. As the first adaptation of the 1909 Broadway play, it leaned more into drama than the comedic 1922 version. The plot revolves around Princess Maria Theresa discovering a hidden text about a family treasure locket, sparking a series of deadly pursuits. Despite its success and H.B. Warner's career boost, the film has been lost since the 1910s, with only a few stills remaining. Its last known showing was in 1917. Sam, initially titled Wicked City, is a lost film directed by Richie Vedder. While its soundtrack has been released, the film itself remains publicly unavailable. It was aired at least once on IFC. The plot, shared by a cast member, follows 17-year-old Sam, who arrives in New York to study architecture but finds herself homeless and struggling to survive after her grandmother, who prepaid her tuition, dies. On December 25, 2021, YouTuber Cassette uploaded the film with the help of contributors from the Lost Media subreddit. Together for Days, also known as Black Cream, is a 1972 indie film directed by Michael Schultz, starring Clifton Davis and Lois Chiles, and marking Samuel L. Jackson's screen debut. Shot in Atlanta, it explores interracial romance amidst societal backlash. Jackson's role remains notable. Its reputed shocking finale intrigued critics, yet details remain elusive. Little is known of its obscurity or the fate of its masters. Jackson humorously quipped its unavailability on The Tonight Show and advised against seeking it in a 2017 Wired video. Despite a fleeting eBay listing, hopes for a re-release dwindle, cementing its status as lost media. Nights of the Werewolf, or Las Noches del Hombre Lobo, was a 1968 Spanish/French horror film starring Paul Naschy, centered on a professor exploiting a student's lycanthropy for vengeance via sound waves. However, the film's existence is shrouded in mystery. Naschy insisted it was filmed in Paris, but details are scarce. The director, René Gover, reportedly died in a suspicious car accident after sending the film for processing. Some claim the film was lost in the crash. Others suggest it was held by the lab due to unpaid costs and later misplaced. Speculations persist, with no concrete evidence of its production or fate. Four Devils, one of F.W. Murnau's final works, followed orphaned trapeze performers in a poignant tale. Despite Fox Films' oversight, both silent and sound versions were lost. Mary Duncan, an actress in the film, allegedly borrowed the sole surviving copy and never returned it, leading to its mysterious disappearance. Speculations abound about its fate, with hints that Duncan's heirs may have stumbled upon it. A slideshow featured on Sunrise's 2003 DVD offered a glimpse into the film, showcasing the script with rare photos and narration, preserving its legacy in the absence of the full movie. Quirino Cristiani's Pelleadopolis, 1931. A pioneering animated film, satirized Argentina's political turmoil under President Hipólito Yrigoyen amidst sharks symbolizing political adversaries. Originally silent, it adapted to include sound, a first for animated features, using an innovative dual-disc method. Yet, political upheaval stalled production, prompting Cristiani to revise its narrative. Despite its significance, Pelleadopolis met an unfortunate fate. Stored prints were lost in fires during the 1950s and 60s, leaving only a 1930 documentary and scattered memorabilia as testaments to Cristiani's groundbreaking work. In 1920, Lillian Gish ventured into directing with Remodeling Her Husband, a silent comedy co-directed by D.W. Griffith and filmed at his New York facilities. The film, written by Gish under the pseudonym Dorothy Elizabeth Carter with intertitles by Dorothy Parker, starred her sister Dorothy Gish and James Rennie, Dorothy's husband. Despite its all-woman production team, save for cinematographer George W. Hill, the film is now lost. It humorously portrayed Janie's attempts to reform her philandering husband Jack, with twists involving flappers and manicurists. El Apostle, 1917, by Quirino Cristiani stands as a lost pioneer in animation, hailed as the first feature-length animated film. Using paper cutout puppets, Cristiani crafted a political satire depicting Argentine President Hipólito Yrigoyen's fantastical journey. Destroyed in a 1926 fire, the film featured innovative designs by cartoonist Diogenes Taborda. Yrigoyen, portrayed as meeting Jupiter and purging Buenos Aires with lightning, left only a flyer, character sketches, and one photograph surviving. Cristiani's legacy continued with another Yrigoyen satire, Peliodopolis. Dark Streets, 1929, a pre-code crime film directed by Frank Lloyd, starred Jack Mulhall and Lila Lee. Produced by First National Pictures, it's noted for Mulhall's pioneering dual role in early sound cinema. Despite its innovative approach, the film is now lost, adding to the mystique of early Hollywood. Mulhall's dual performance likely added intrigue, blending crime drama with technical experimentation. Sword of Penitence, 1927, Yasujiro Ozu's debut as director, is a lost Japanese silent film that marked his uneasy start in period drama. Written by Kogo Noda, it follows Sakichi's struggle to reform after prison, only to be entangled in his brother Ishimatsu's criminal deeds. The film, now vanished, highlights Ozu's early challenges with the genre and his dissatisfaction with its production. Despite these setbacks, Ozu's later works would redefine Japanese cinema. William Friese Greene, the pioneering English inventor of motion pictures, lived a tumultuous life of innovation and struggle. Born William Edward Greene, he adopted his wife's name to Friese Greene and delved into photography and early cinematography. Despite creating multiple cameras and pioneering color film techniques, he faced bankruptcy and obscurity. His inventions included early motion picture cameras and a two-color filming process, but financial woes plagued him. His legacy faded until a 1951 biopic revived interest, though not fully accurate. Friese Greene died in poverty, symbolizing the bittersweet fate of a visionary ahead of his time, forever linked to the lost history of cinema's early days. Vista da Baía de Guanabara, a purported 1898 silent film by Italian filmmaker Alfonso Segredo, remains a mystery in Brazilian cinema history. Allegedly capturing the scenic beauty of Guanabara Bay upon his arrival in Brazil, Segredo used a Lumiere camera for the footage. Despite claims of its existence, skeptics doubt its authenticity due to lack of evidence. If real, it never saw a public screening, and no copies or records survived. Him, a provocative 1974 film blending religious themes with homosexual erotica, sparked controversy and intrigue. Initially dismissed as fictional in the Golden Turkey Awards, it later emerged as real, though elusive. Gustav von Will, aka Tava, portrayed Jesus, confirmed in recent revelations. Despite sporadic screenings at venues like New York's 55th Street Playhouse and others nationwide, no footage survives today. Fragmentary artifacts like ads and reviews hint at its existence, fueling fascination with this enigmatic piece of cinema history. The Farmer, a 1977 film by David Berlatsky, blends heroism with a farmer's fight against foreclosure post-World War II. Despite brief theatrical and cable TV runs, it's never seen a home video release, making it a holy grail for collectors. Code Red DVD teased a remaster in 2006, but it never materialized, leaving only a trailer and scarce screenshots online. Recently, a bootleg VHS surfaced on eBay and briefly hit YouTube before landing on the Internet Archive, albeit in rough quality. In a surprising turn, Scorpion Releasing announced a 2022 Blu-ray release, boasting HD scans from original negatives, a long-awaited redemption for this elusive cinematic gem. Hands Up, the 1918 adventure film serial starring Ruth Roland as Echo Delane, faced numerous censorship cuts, including scenes of mild violence and suggestive intertitles. Set in a wild Western backdrop, Echo evades Incan descendants aiming to sacrifice her, aided by the mysterious Phantom Rider and cowboy Hands Up. Antagonists include the enigmatic gentleman rancher and conniving adventuress. Despite its acclaim, the 15-chapter serial remains elusive online due to nitrate film risks. UCLA holds a preserved trailer, while posters and screenshots tantalize collectors, preserving its legacy as a thrilling, albeit lost, piece of cinematic history awaiting rediscovery. Honolulu Nights, Diana Hanson-Young's 1991 animated film, once lit up screens in Hawaii but now resides in the realm of lost media. Known for her vibrant artistry and children's series, Hanson-Young's venture into animation aired fleetingly on Keichoan TV, Honolulu. Despite newspaper ads confirming its November 29th premiere, the film has slipped into obscurity, evading current viewing. As collectors and fans pine for its rediscovery, Honolulu Nights remains a mysterious footnote in Hanson-Young's eclectic career, leaving viewers to imagine the tropical tales that once graced Hawaiian airwaves. Street Fighter, not to be confused with the video game, is a mysterious B-movie from 1959. Produced, written, and starring Arthur White, aka Vic Savage. It was directed by Joseph Sargent. The film, possibly lost since its B-movie debut, saw its only original celluloid copy destroyed during transfer to VHS and DVD by Universal Studios. Rumors swirl of a contentious family dispute over its legacy. The plot centers on a rebellious teen who transforms into a model citizen after a tragic loss. Every N-Word is a Star, a 1973 Jamaican film directed by Calvin Lockhart, remains a cryptic enigma in cinema history. Despite its initial release and subsequent obscurity, the soundtrack by Boris Gardiner found new life through Kendrick Lamar's album and the film Moonlight. The movie attempted to redefine racial stereotypes and celebrate Caribbean culture, yet faced a dismal reception and vanished quickly. Though its soundtrack thrives, the film itself is considered lost, with no known print surviving. Convention City, the scandalous 1933 Warner Brothers comedy, pushed boundaries with its risque humor and nudity, triggering the implementation of the Hays Code. Despite critical acclaim, the film faced heavy censorship and bans for its perceived moral corruption. Warner Brothers later junked its deteriorating print, but remnants like production stills and the script endure. Interestingly, stock footage of Atlantic City scenes survived longer than the film itself, discovered in a studio vault. In 1994, a nostalgic reading of its script revived echoes of its lost era at a pre-Hays Code film festival. Nobody Ordered Love, a 1972 British drama by Robert Hartford Davis, delved into the pitfalls of low-budget filmmaking amid World War I's backdrop. Despite a cast of genre veterans, including Ingrid Pitt, the film received scant promotion and critical drubbing, prompting its withdrawal from circulation. Hartford Davis reportedly took all prints to the U.S., later instructing their destruction upon his death. Listed among the British Film Institute's Most Wanted, its screenplay surfaced in 2012, offering insight into its lost legacy. With Pitt's claim casting doubt on its recovery, the film's fate remains confined to sparse black and white stills. Ragazzo, a 1934 film by Ivo Perilli, is considered lost and infamous for its total censorship under fascism. The story follows Giovanni in working-class Rome, grappling with loss and seduced by a life of crime until a chance encounter leads him to fascist youth groups, where he seeks redemption. Despite its bold realism, the film was banned before release, its fate sealed amid World War II confiscations. Surviving only in fragments, its socio-political critique and raw depiction of urban life remain a poignant yet elusive chapter in Italian cinema, echoing a time when censorship silenced dissenting voices. Don Quixote, a 2000 indie comedy by Orion Walker and Richard Zangren Galbert, remains a mystery due to its elusive nature. Following a struggling artist's journey, the film never secured a distributor despite a screened appearance in 2000. Its soundtrack achieved success before the film's intended release, notably with songs by Robert Schneider. Recent developments saw a leaked screener on UGA's site and a subsequent YouTube upload, sparking renewed interest despite hurdles in its official release. The Big City, a 1928 silent crime film directed by Todd Browning and starring Lon Chaney, met its demise in the 1965 MGM Vault fire, along with other classics like London After Midnight. Known for its thrilling plot involving jewel heists and cabaret intrigue, the film's survival remains elusive. A surviving trailer offers a glimpse of its lost scenes. Despite rumors of a UCLA videotape, the film's full version remains unproven. Zhuangzi Tests His Wife, 1913, marks Hong Kong's cinematic debut. Directed by Lee Min-wei and produced by the Huame Studio, Benjamin Brodsky, co-founder, transported the film to the U.S., making it the first Chinese movie shown abroad in communities like Los Angeles and San Francisco. Adapted from the Zidishu play The Butterfly Dream by Chen Shizhai, the film explores philosophical themes rooted in Zhuangzi's Taoist beliefs from the 4th century BCE. Zhuangzi's philosophy of contextual truth and perpetual change continues to resonate across Chinese culture. Soccer Mom Detective, a 2005 short film by Tim Hodge for the Nashville 48-Hour Film Festival, features Anita Forcucci, Charlene Ibrahim, on a quest to rescue a kidnapped cat, diving into unexpected twists. Hodge, known for VeggieTales, crafted this mystery, winning first runner-up in the detective/cop genre. Despite its accolades, the film remains elusive with no public release or directorial updates, leaving its fate and whereabouts a mystery, perhaps a fitting tribute to its detective-themed plot. The First Men in the Moon, a 1919 British sci-fi film based on H.G. Wells' novel, follows scientists Samson Caver, Hector Abbas, and Rupert Bedford, Lionel Daragon, on their lunar adventure with Cavorite, a gravity-defying substance. Despite pioneering sci-fi cinema, the film faced mixed reviews for its primitive effects. It faded into obscurity post-release, becoming a lost gem. In 2010, the British Film Institute listed it among their 75 most wanted films. Discoveries in 2013 by Robert Godwin revealed newspaper reviews and stills, offering a glimpse into its legacy. As of 2023, these fragments stand as the sole public remnants of this early sci-fi classic. The legend of a risque Mickey Mouse animation remains shrouded in mystery and controversy. In 1936, two anonymous animators purportedly created a scandalous short film of Mickey and Minnie Mouse for Walt Disney's birthday. Disney, feigning amusement, praised the animation's quality before promptly firing its creators and allegedly ordering all copies destroyed. However, skepticism abounds as the tale first surfaced in Mark Elliott's contentious 1994 biography of Disney. Another version by Harlan Ellison, involving Disney's strict moral standards, adds layers to the myth. Stop, directed by Bill Gunn, a provocative exploration of marriage and infidelity, faced controversy with an X rating in 1972, leading to its disappearance from theaters. Resurfacing briefly in 1989 after Gunn's death, it remained elusive until a surprise 2010 VHS screening at the Brooklyn Arts Museum. Rights disputes, including musical rights complications, hindered its re-release, frustrating fans and studios alike. Despite Warner Brothers' struggles, a mysterious upload to the Internet Archive in 2022 revived interest. Sorcerers, an ambitious blend of live-action and CG, began under Albert Pyun's direction in 1997 but faced setbacks, including Pyun's health struggles and changes in the direct-to-video market. Inspired by The Three Musketeers, the film's plot remains largely mysterious. Despite promises of 36 episodes, only fragments, 3 or possibly 6, have surfaced online, fueling intrigue among fans of cult cinema. The quest for the full story of Sorcerers continues, with its scattered episodes offering glimpses into a project that never reached its intended completion. Fight Harm, Harmony Korine's notorious dark comedy project, unleashed chaos on the streets of Manhattan in 1999. Korine, seeking comedy gold, goaded larger strangers into fistfights, strictly abiding by rules like no first punches. Despite filming 9 skirmishes, totaling a mere 17 minutes, the project was shelved due to injuries and legal concerns over releases. Korine, infamous for pushing boundaries, remains adamant about keeping the footage under wraps, believing it will age into comedic brilliance. Romusa, directed by Herman Nagara, was a 1972 Indonesian film starring Rofi I.E. Prabankana and A. Hamid Arif. Despite passing censorship, it was suppressed by the Department of Information for straining Indonesia-Japan relations during its occupation portrayal from 1943 to 1944. Though Japan's embassy didn't formally protest, Mrs. July's Rofi I.E. confirmed Japanese objections, leading to undisclosed compensation discussions. The film's fate remains unclear, with speculation suggesting Japan covered production costs and interest. A Daughter of the Gods, a 1916 film starring Annette Kellerman, made waves as one of cinema's earliest with a major actress in a revealing scene under a waterfall, sparking controversy. The plot, involving a sultan tempted by a witch to sacrifice a goddess, faded into obscurity despite the BFI briefly holding film reels. Speculations about its misplacement abound, leaving this groundbreaking silent film lost to history. Dustin Diamond Teaches Chess, a 2001 instructional video by Kaisa Productions, stars Dustin Diamond from Saved by the Bell and David Glicksman, focusing on teaching chess over 4 hours. Inspired by Diamond's character's chess prowess, the video pairs Glicksman as the master and Diamond as his student, showcasing basic moves and culturally themed antics. Despite its VHS release and sporadic availability hints, including a rumored link on uschess.com, the full video remains largely elusive. Self-Portrait, an experimental film by Yoko Ono, debuted at London's Institute of Contemporary Art in 1969, featuring a continuous 42-minute shot of John Lennon's semi-erect penis. Intended as a provocative exploration of art and voyeurism, the film has stirred controversy and intrigue since its singular screening. Yoko Ono aimed to capture audience reactions alongside Lennon's imagery, but technical failures thwarted this plan. Despite its avant-garde nature, Self-Portrait remains unseen and unarchived, symbolizing Ono's ambitious vision and the elusive nature of experimental cinema. In 1968, Andy Milligan's The Filthy Five emerged as a surprising hit in the sexploitation genre, grossing $300,000 and earning acclaim from Variety and the New York Times. Even Andy Warhol counted it among his favorites. However, tragedy struck when distributor Lou Mishkin, son of William Mishkin, melted down prints of this and other films for silver amid the genre's decline. The film's gritty plot intertwined Johnny Longo's rise in boxing with Rita Roman's spiral into addiction and manipulation, culminating in a dark climax involving LSD and betrayal. Verzobert, Enchanted, a 1993 documentary by Trigon Film, delves into the untold stories of gay and lesbian Holocaust survivors. Directed by 9 German filmmakers, including Jörg Fackel and Jens Gallenbeck, it spans 88 minutes of poignant narratives. Survivors recount clandestine romances, persecution by the Gestapo, and resilience within subculture. Rarely documented aspects include Edith's decades-long business partnership and Rudolph's wartime theater roles. Despite its obscurity, the documentary resurfaced on YouTube in 2023 thanks to user night anticipation, offering a vital glimpse into LGBTQ+ history amidst Nazi oppression, now preserved across archival platforms. The Cure for Insomnia, a 1987 epic by John Henry Timmis IV, holds the Guinness World Record for the longest film at 87 hours. Featuring L.D. Grobin reciting a 4,080-page poem interspersed with heavy metal and adult content, it aimed to reset viewers' sleep cycles. Screened at the School of the Art Institute in Chicago, it never saw a home release, and all prints are lost. Online forums and threads persist in a quest to unearth this cinematic enigma, with sporadic clips surfacing like a glimpse on This Week in Joe's Basement in 1992, adding to the mystique of this unparalleled marathon. Sherlock Holmes in Caracas, a Venezuelan oddity showcased at the 32nd Cartagena Film Festival in 2009, never saw a theatrical or DVD release. Starring Juan Manuel Montesinos as Holmes and Gilbert DeCorn as Watson, this satirical romp by Juan E. Frezin garnered attention for its unconventional take on the detective genre. Reviewer Paul Linney of Variety described it as a self-aware, low-budget farce reminiscent of Monty Python, blending bizarre plot twists with rapid-fire gags and tropical flair. Uncle Walt, a 1964 animated short by Robert Swarth from UCLA's Animation Workshop, remains a mystery in animation history. Screened only once in 1972 at the American Film Institute, it's known for its controversial portrayal of Walt Disney and his creations. The film delves into dark humor, depicting Disney characters in provocative and unsettling scenarios. Despite its infamy, Uncle Walt hasn't resurfaced since its single public screening. Rumors once suggested it was a clandestine Disney production, debunked by historical inaccuracies. Now, with Thunderbeam Animation's upcoming Blu-ray release, including this elusive short, audiences may finally revisit this obscure piece of animation lore. Kansas City Blender Massacre, a 1986 horror short by Todd Sheets, is shrouded in mystery. Focused on a blender-wielding serial killer, the film has eluded discovery unlike Sheets' other works like Blood of the Undead. Despite a partial presence in his zombie rampage, The Undead, the full movie remains lost. Sheets himself confirmed its obscurity, mentioning similar fates for his other unreleased films like Chainsaw Tales. Heartbeat in the Brain, a 1970 documentary by Amanda Fielding, dared to explore trepanation, showing Fielding drilling into her own forehead with a dentist's tool amidst sequences of her pet pigeon. Initially shocking, the film caused fainting spells at its 1978 New York screening. Thought lost, it resurfaced in the 1998 documentary A Hole in the Head, and finally saw public screening at London's Institute of Contemporary Arts in 2011. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video or found it interesting, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and check out one of these other ones. I'm sure you will like it.